JK, let me ask you about getting back to Daniels. So he rushed 16 times. I realized the bulk of those were when he was forced out of the pocket.
Right.
But the last thing Kingsbury and Quinn want is him to run 16 times. So do you think that they're going to deliberately try and scale that back next week against the Giants?
Well, I think the hard part is the scrambles because it's hard to scale back.
Yeah.
And so I think that's yes, I would agree with you. He's not going to be able to, you don't want your quarterback running that many times. And now he did a good job of avoiding the hits, but all it takes is a couple. We saw one yesterday where, it's fortunate that he wasn't knocked out of the game on the helmet-to-helmet hit, right? So you want, and I think for those, you have to create situations. You need guys to get open, and you need to protect because those are the ways that you can mitigate that. He's not a guy he was always described as a passer who can run. Well, yesterday he had to run a lot, and so you need him to be a passer. That's supposed to be the difference for him compared to others, and I believe that based on watching in practice, based on watching him in college. Yes, he can run, but he wants to pass. And so that's how you can mitigate that. There were a couple designed runs, and maybe you can do a few less of those if it's a situation where he's running a lot, but you don't want him running that many times a game. No. Absolutely
the good thing is you get the Giants next week at home. And Daniel Jones was terrible again. Daniel Jones is he's a bad quarterback.
Yep. Yes, he is.
So you get them, but who knows what the offense is going to look like with Washington?
This is the start of a regime, and there's been so much turnover and all that. So I get all that, and you take that into account. But this is a big game. It's a home game. It's Daniel's first home game. But it's also against a team that you continuously struggle to beat that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is one where it's it's always like this is going to be a year about measuring sticks and where are they at with things? Do they compete? Do they do this and that? And if you do, or if you are that kind of team, you bounce back and have a good showing because you're right. The Giants are not very good. The problem that I have with the Giants is they have a couple pass rushers and, on the edges. And I think that's going to be a problem. That's something they have to deal with for sure. But yes, you cannot let Daniel Jones beat you again. And because I think if you want to show fans it's different, go beat the Giants. That you have to take care of business in the NFC. So I don't care where you're at in your development. You have to do that. There's a long, the thing I kept saying all summer was I think long-term, I like what they're building. Short-term, you don't know where they're at. And I think there's still a lot of uncertainty about some areas. Some areas, cornerback play you were concerned with, and it's got to get better. Will it? So, but yeah, you've got to take care of business Sunday.